for this one last week.
I know. This one I bought was like 2 weeks ago, and I hate that I lost it already.
You left it in there? Right on time. Right. Okay.
So yeah, I was hating losing it.
Chandrella. She said if anything happened during the meeting, go ahead. You lay this on the certificate.
Hey, stranger. Good. I know that's right. Hey, why do I do this all the time?
Shan. How y'all doing today?
I don't
I'm
have-
so sorry.
I don't know
Let's
where
go
they
ahead and
all
get started.
going. This is all I have.
Shelby, I found it.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy April 14th.
Yes.
Can y'all believe we're like almost in the 4th month of this year? Wow. That's exciting. You know, I realize sometimes I don't introduce myself. So my name is Danya Sarda. I'm the mayor for the city of Jonesboro. I work in collaboration with my mayor pro tem, Tracy Messett, Councilman Alfred Dixon, Councilman Bobby Lester, Councilwoman Asia Miller, Councilman Don Dixon, and on the other side of our mayor pro tem, we have Councilman Billy Powell. I just thought that was helpful because I realized everybody talks sometimes and we don't know who's talking. So we are your elected body for the city of Jonesboro. At this time, I would like the clerk to call to order our meeting for April 14th. I'm supposed to do that. I call the meeting to order for the city council regular call meeting, April 14th, 2025 at 6:03. Madam Clerk, if you would please do a roll call for me, please.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Pro Tem Messick, Councilmember Powell, Councilmember Don Dixon, Councilmember Miller, Councilmember Lester, and Councilmember Alfred Dixon.
Present.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. All righty. Today we have our chaplain for the Jonesboro Police Department, Pastor Robert Taylor, that's going to give our invocation. Did I see? He's not here? Oh, yes, he is. Pastor Taylor's the pastor at Shiloh Baptist Church. Is it the oldest or one of the oldest churches in the city of
The
Jonesboro?
oldest, the
The
oldest church in Clayton County, Baptist Church.
Wow.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, to our counselor, to all of our citizens here in the great city of Jonesboro. Let us pray. Father, we come, God, just to say thank you right now, God. We thank you, Lord, for your many blessings that you have bestowed upon us, oh God. Thank you, first of all, Lord, for lying down on last night, God. You watched over us, Lord, all night long. And for that, God, we have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And then, Father, you reached over the balconies of heaven and you touched us with your finger of love, allowing us, Lord, to see a brand new day. And with this new day you have given us, God, you've given us new grace and new mercy. And for that, we have to say thank you. Thank you again, God, Lord, for watching over us, Lord, this entire day. Now, Father, we have come here, Lord, this evening, God, Lord, just to hear, God, and to be a witness, oh God, what we're doing right here in the city of Jonesboro. We just ask you right now, Lord, to keep your hands, Lord, upon our mayor, your hands, Lord, upon our city council, God, your hands, Lord, upon our police department, all of our city workers, and everyone, Lord, who lives in Clayton County. Watch over, Father, Lord, all of our citizens that's here, Lord, in Jonesboro. Now, Father, we pray right now, Lord, that your will be done, Lord. Lead us and guide us, Lord, and give us direction and give us visions, oh God, what you want us to do here in Jonesboro, Georgia. And we will forever give you all of the praises and all of the glory and all of the honor. It is in Jesus' name that we do pray. And all of God's people said, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Council. At this time, will we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council, we have an agenda before us. If you all don't mind, I'll move forward with some additions that I have. I would ask that we entertain a vote for a promotion during the mayor's presentation, if you all are okay with that. We can strike the presentation honoring Dr. Carol Harrison Brady, I'm sorry. Under new business number H, MOU for SCEI with NLC. Mr. Hurd, would you like the tree approval to go? You think it should go? Okay. Let's add I. We've had significant amount of tree work done with the storms, and so we have that information I would like for us to consider. Let me make sure I don't have anything else. Council, that's all that I have. And again, it's a presentation up on the mayor's presentation, which will require a vote, striking of the last proclamation. And then there's an additional proclamation, academic recognition. And then if you turn to page H, if you turn to new business, item H is a memorandum of understanding for the SCEI and the National League of Cities, as well as the tree ordinance. Not a tree ordinance, some approval for tree work. Council, would you all like to add anything else to the agenda? Oh, look at the Lord. All right. If there's no other additions, I'll entertain a motion with said changes. All in favor? Any opposition? All right, thank you, Council. Mayor Pro Tem, would you like to join me down? Well, let's wait, let's do it. Council, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve Interim Chief Cato as Chief of Police for Jonesboro Police Department, effective August 15th. I'll entertain a motion for said motion. April, yeah. Cato, you want to work now, don't you? Okay, I'm sorry. April 15th. So made. Do I need to do salary?
Salary too.
Yeah. 120,000? 120,000. 120,000. Again, approval of Interim Chief Cato to Chief of Police for Jonesboro Police Department, effective April 15th, with a salary of 120,000. I think it's some change, maybe 9 cents. I'll entertain a motion for said recommendation. All right. Any discussion, council? All in favor? Aye. Thank you so much. Okay, Chief Cato, if you meet me down at the bottom, please. Cato has served an interim chief position off and on for at least my tenure here. He's been an officer for, is that right, 12 years? 12 years. I met Cato when he was an officer and when I was a mayor, and I don't think I was on council meeting. So it's indeed an honor, especially for our council, to be unanimous in making Chief Cato well-deserving for this position. We're looking forward to the great work that you're doing, but also, again, you heard, I said doing, because you've already done the great work, continuing to do the great work. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Did you take the other one off already? Stay ready.
Almost.
Alright guys, right here. Stand with this right hand.
Council, can y'all come in for, are you gonna wide angle with council?
I can come to it, yep. Windows. Perfect, guys. Wait for Councilman to come. Do a couple shots, okay? Just trying to. 1, 2, 3. And zoom in here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Welcome to the city of Jonesboro. Thank you. One of the things I enjoy most about being mayor, I get to acknowledge students and just members of our community that are a great asset and an ally in a collaborative relationship. So this evening, I get a chance to do just that. I want to start with, is Ashley Cook here? Okay. Ashley Cook is not here. Is Pastor Jacob Lee? Okay. So you all come around.
I was wondering.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Thank
Asik Wayo.
Asis.
Asik Wao. I don't remember the actual date, but they brought, I think, 100 volunteers. If you were driving through the city of Jonesboro, you probably saw them in these beautiful colors, cleaning up trash. They did 4 different routes and had how many tons of trash, Patrick? Do you remember? How many bags? Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. Was it a lot? It was a lot. So we appreciate you all's partnership, and I can go ahead and tell you that you all are invited to help us clean the city whenever y'all want to. At this time, I'd like to present a proclamation honoring your organization. And I'm going to come here for a second. Can you announce it? Because I don't like messing up names. Can you say your name? Say the organization.
Asis Wow.
Asis Waru is a young adult volunteer at the World Mission Society Church of George of God, have demonstrated unwavering commitment to the betterment of society through their dedicated service, embodying the spirit of compassion, unity, and selflessness. On March 16, 2025, following a local storm in the city of Jonesboro, these volunteers took swift action to organize and participate in a community cleanup, restoring public places and assisting in recovery efforts with diligence and care. And through this effort, this organization's volunteers have exemplified the heart of a mother by prioritizing the well-being of a community, fostering a culture of kindness, and inspiring others to take part in a meaningful act of service. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Danya L. Sarter, Mayor of the City of Jonesboro, and the City Council do recognize and commend Asik Wayo, young adult volunteers in the World Mission Society Church of God, for their outstanding contributions, and extend gratitude for their positive impact on the city of Jonesboro and beyond. In witness thereof, I set my hand and cause the seal of Jonesboro to be affixed this 14th day of April 2025. Again, we appreciate you all. We look forward to a long-standing relationship, and we always have a place for you all to come serve.
Thank you so much.
Would you like any?
Yep.
We're gonna have council students.
Y'all can stay standing for a while.
One, two,
Which one?
The March 6th one with the donuts. I saw that they were Zooming.
Service doesn't require that.
I know.
Just tired of
Thank you, fellow citizens of Jonesboro. We really appreciate and we're really thankful and honored that we can come and serve the community here after a storm. And we really just want to give the heart and love of a mother to the community. So anytime that you're in need, please keep in mind the World Mission Society Church of God. We're always willing to extend a helping hand. So thank you so much for this proclamation, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
You were in that picture. Okay. That was great. All right.
Are we good to go?
Yes, please. Thank you. At this time, if Marilyn Newton is here from United Open Arms. Thank you so much. Pat Daniel, City of Jonesboro. I got you reading the papers. So I'm excited to be able to provide a proclamation recognizing Marilyn Newton of United with Arms Incorporated. What's unique about this is the condition of her proclamation was that she acknowledged a staff member that has been a tremendous help for her, and that's our assistant clerk, Pat Daniel. So the first proclamation is Marilyn Newton. I'll start and I'll go to the end. Marilyn Newton, through her tireless dedication and leadership at United with Open Arms Incorporated, has significantly contributed to the betterment of our community. And whereas United with Open Arms Incorporated has been instrumental in combating community deterioration by providing essential services such as food distribution, housing assistance, life skills training, tutoring, support for the elderly, back to school, excuse me, community days, Thanksgiving giveaways, and toy drives. It is fitting to recognize individuals and organizations that make a profound impact on the lives of others with creating a stronger, healthy community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Donya Sarter, Mayor of the City of Jonesboro, and City Council do hereby proclaim our heartfelt appreciation to Marilyn Newton for the vital work of United with Open Arms Incorporated. We encourage continued support and efforts to build, strengthen our community. In witness thereof, I have here unto set my hand across the city of Jonesboro on May 14th, 2025. And we're gonna do a group shot, so Pat, just stay right there. So Pat Daniel is a dedicated assistant city clerk with the City of Jonesboro. Jonesboro, Georgia, and has consistently demonstrated exceptional commitment, dedication, professionalism, and service in her role. Whereas Pat Daniel has played a vital role in assisting United with Open Arms Incorporated and has empowered countless residents in our community by providing guidance and assistance in their pursuit of business license. Whereas Pat Daniel embodies the spirit of community service and represents a beacon of light in the community. Whereas Pat Daniel's tireless efforts have significantly contributed to the growth and development of local businesses while enhancing the overall wellness of our community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Donya L. Sarter, Mayor for the City of Jonesboro, and City Council do hereby recognize Pat Daniel for her unwavering dedication and support in assisting with Open Arms. And again, this was recommended. We know she does a good job, but it was recommended by a community organization, and that makes it all the more special. So we'll come out here. I want to take a deep picture with you. All right, come on.
Go ahead.
All right, good, thank you.
Everybody, ready? Here we are.
All right,
We gonna do it one more time? Go ahead.
Shelby, grab ours real quickly. So all our eyes are looking at one place.
1, 2, 3, right here. Very good.
Would you like all of our eyes looking at you, or you like the abstract? Okay. Thank you so much.
I get in where I fit in. I get in where I fit in.
So y'all city liaison. I think that's it. At this time, we have a public hearing. Would you like to call that item, Madam Clerk?
Public hearing regarding alcohol license application number 25-ALC-002 for retail sales at 249 North Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236. The legal business name is AHS Quick Mart. Akshat Shah has requested to be the licensed representative.
Is there anyone here to speak on that particular public hearing? Now,
The applicant is here.
would you like to come speak on this particular public hearing?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name's Akshat. I'm coming from 249 North Main Street. I just need a transfer of business, or I mean beer license, so that my business sales can grow and, you know, get a good business running. And we make sure to, like, for alcohol teenagers, we make sure to check IDs and, like, scan IDs in our POS system. It helps us clarify whether the customer is really 18 or really 21 or not. Makes it easier, you know. That's about it.
Thank you so much. Anyone else to speak on this public hearing? All right, I'll now consider this public hearing closed. At this time, we have public comment. I'm assuming, Mr. Shaw, you don't need to make, is this you, Akshat? Okay, so you don't need to speak during public comment? You just spoke, okay, good. Mackenzie Newlove? Hey, Mackenzie, I want to make sure I have your address correctly. 1687 HOLBORN Court. What's your zip code?
30236.
Okay. Thank you. How you doing this evening?
Hi. Good evening, everyone. In
Can
case
you
you
step
didn't
into
know,
the mic just a little bit?
Oh.
There you go.
sorry, I'm a little short. In case you didn't know, I'm being forced to do this. So it's all good. But anyway, I just want to give a quick update of the Jonesboro Youth City Government and what happened at the Let's Roll event. Hold on. We had at least, I would say, 100 people there, maybe a little more. We were very blessed, actually. Danny Nagel, a lawyer, paid for everyone to get in. So there's we were very blessed with that. Everyone had a great time. I mean, not too much. I don't have a report of how much money we got out of that at this time. I know he might, Councilman Dixon might, but I personally do not at this time. But that's about it concerning Let's Roll. I mean, it was a very good event. I had fun, It was very enjoyable.
Good. Thank you so much for your service to the Jonesboro Youth City Government. At this time, we have approval of minutes. At this time, council to consider approval of minutes for February 3rd, public hearing number 2. Are there any amendments to those agendas? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So I had a question, Mayor,
Yes.
and this is in regards to the meeting agenda. I know for public comment, we ask residents for their addresses, names and addresses. I know we have a public comment sign-in sheet. Do we make any of those public record, or can we make the minutes reflect if they're a city resident or not?
I don't know. Give me a chance to let David, if y'all want to hold off on February 3rd. I mean, it's stated for the record. But just so you know, anyone is able to make public comment, not just citizens. So I think that might be odd to single them out. I don't mind listing where they live, I guess. I don't know. Let us check that out.
Or maybe just not necessarily the address. I mean, even though it's already public record, maybe just next to the name, city resident. I know next to, state representative name, or Eric Bell, that would say, state representative. So just trying to identify exactly who's in the city, who's not in the city. I know we already do it for public record, but just identify it on the minutes, or making sure the minutes reflect.
Do you mind if we hold off on that until May, until we make sure legally it can be done correctly?
Absolutely.
Okay. Council, are y'all okay with
Mayor,
that? Yes.
Mayor, is your mic on? I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry. Yes, it's on.
Okay.
You want me to repeat it?
No, I got it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you have something to say, or you just telling me to get my mic?
Pardon?
You just telling me to get my mic straight?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. Remind me, Councilman Powell, you on mic duty today. Council to consider approval of minutes. So, do you want that for all of them? Okay, so we're not going to approve any of them.
Okay.
Yes,
There-
ma'am.
Till we can look at that and see if that's something that's doable, I'd like to make a motion to table the approval of the minutes to our next meeting.
Can I add something, so as we table, she can work on something else that I saw? So let's go through them. So let's table them one by one. But if there's other changes, we need to go on and give them to her now, so when they come back, they're before us. So council, I'll make a motion to table consideration of approval of minutes for February 3rd, 2025, public hearing number 2.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposition? Thank you. Council to consider minutes from the February 3rd work session. I didn't have anything from that, so if somebody would make a motion to table, there's no additions for us to look into.
Motion to table the minutes from the work session on February 3rd.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you so much, council. Consideration of minutes for March 3rd,
February 3rd, will be next.
February 10th. I am so sorry, y'all. Council to consider approval of minutes for February 10th, public hearing number 3. Motion to table. Yeah, I don't know if they had public comment on those. Okay. Did they have public comment? Well, then we can go ahead and approve item number C.
Your Honor, the same with the work session, there's no public comments.
Okay, so council, can we go back to B and make a motion since there is no public comment? I'll entertain a motion to approve minutes for February 3rd, 2025. All in favor? Any opposition? Thank you so much. At this time, council, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for February 10th, public hearing number 3, where there were no public comments. Any discussion? All in favor? Great. And any opposed? Thank you, council. Council to consider minutes from March 3rd. Let me get to that one. There was a public comment. We'll wait on that as well. I'll entertain a motion to table. All in favor? Any opposition? Thank you so much. At this time, council, I'll approve item E, council to consider approval of the minutes for March 10th, 2025 regular council meeting. Council, I do have one addition to this one aside from going back and stating those. And also, as I think about it, I don't feel like we should go back and do it retro. I think it should be stated moving forward that you'll be required to tell whether you live in the city, and then they can make a determination if we find out it to be true, because that may have impacted someone making a public comment. So if that's the rules that we're going to play by, that they have to disclose that, because we've gotten by without addresses and we haven't said anything. Yes, ma'am. Madam
Your
Clerk.
Honor, just speaking with other clerks, a lot of clerks are moving away from the address due to security reasons. There's been issues where people would literally come to someone's house. So that's something we may want to consider.
And I do feel if we're going to make that a requirement, that it needs to be made through resolution and not just vote, if you all are okay with that. Are y'all okay? So with that being said, I am so sorry. Would you all mind going back and approving as written, because it's not fair to disclose someone if they weren't aware they had to disclose that, because I had not been told to be required to state the addresses. Sometimes they state them, sometimes they don't. I don't pressure it. I only get their address, just so y'all know, because I send them a card. So Arlene probably got a whole stack of my stationery at home. So that's why the address is important to me, but I'll defer to council. Council, thoughts? Yes, Councilman Don Dixon.
Can we write it on the sign-in sheet and then write your address on there, and they don't have to publicly state it?
There is a place for it on there.
There's a place for it. Usually they have the address on the sign-in sheet.
It is gonna be public. Yes.
They
Part
would
of
just
open
have to
record.
do an open records request for it.
No, if they choose to, then
Right.
that's fine. If they don't, but I feel like it's unfair to go back to the previous minutes where we did not require them, because there's some people that if they just wrote Jonesboro, Decatur, and I didn't require them to give an address, so I don't feel it's fair to go back and have to call people and everything. Moving forward, if you all don't mind, allow Attorney Dreyer, along with the clerk, to look at best practices, to see what is best practices for public comment. I imagine we probably have not considered that in a while, so we're gonna go back and look at current policy, if you all don't mind, but I would like to go ahead and approve, I would like to go ahead and approve those minutes, because I don't feel like we should go back and require somebody. Council, how do y'all feel about that?
So, Mayor, I have a comment
Yes.
about that. So, I appreciate the insight, Ms. Andrella, about the, just the safety concerns when it comes to individuals' addresses being public. And I think that in this request, I think I'm just asking to know if they're a city resident or not. So how do you feel about that?
Again,
my-
if we're going to do that, I don't have a problem, you all. Let's just establish a resolution and a policy that requires that. So does that mean if someone does not want to say they're a resident, we're not going to allow them to speak? So again, it's definitely something we should consider. I don't feel like we should go back. So at this time, I'm asking council to approve whichever ones we tabled, because to go back and make somebody disclose where they live and stay retroactively, I feel like it's not fair. Because I haven't personally, as mayor, been consistent, and this is for everybody. If somebody comes up here and they don't want to disclose their address, Shelby sees the sheet, you see the sheet. There's some that don't have address, or what they have, Shelby, just kind of emails or something, and we haven't pressed it. So I'm not saying that we can't go forward with whatever pleases the council in regard to how we identify or what information they disclose. I am just asking, prior to us having a chance to investigate, let's go ahead and approve these minutes without going back to ask them. What are y'all thoughts? Thank you, Councilman Dixon, Don Dixon. What I don't want to happen is that we don't have the correct policy and procedure to protect someone for having to admit that, and then we find ourselves in litigation.
Oh, so I don't admitting, so I think
So we have a
What-
policy regarding public comment that tells the minutes that they can speak. So I want to pull that and share. I just want to make sure we're in compliance before we say we want to go find out if somebody lives in the city or not live in the city.
So I think that's what I wanted. Let me clarify that part. So they already announced, their name, their address for the record.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, right? Some of them do. But I think the question that we ask, or the question that we seek, is if they're a city resident or not. So not trying to know their exact address, I don't think that's of importance, but just to see if they are a city resident is what the goal is.
Okay, so let's keep it where we have it and allow Attorney Dreyer to do some due diligence just to make sure that we're protecting all those acronyms. Yes, ma'am, Mayor Pro Tem?
Could we get our city attorney to look up our policy? Because we've always asked people when they come forward, they're on public record stating their name. They've always been asked to state their address. That's a routine. I understand that sometimes it's missed, but I believe there's policy that's guiding that. So if you could find that policy for us to see if it needs some updating and forward it to the council. And then if you don't mind, Mayor, maybe we can table the minutes until we get that policy. And
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I just want to make sure that we get the policy and not enter in something. But, yes, Mayor, what are you? Yes,
Councilwoman.
Sorry.
What are you? You're so funny. Can we maybe think about adding just like a yes or no if you're in city limits or not? I think if I have a good understanding of it, it's just when someone comes up with a concern, we want to know if we are able to actually do something about said concern. And so it's not necessary. I understand I've always been leery about the address thing. No disrespect to our policy. Just me personally, I'm always leery about saying my address aloud, and we have news crews in here and things like that. So I understand the security concerns possibly. I also respect if our policy dictates that. But I think as far as Councilman Dixon's point, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is just to know when they come up and when we review the minutes, let me go back and see if I can help this person with the powers that I have given by the people. So if we can we have like a circle, yes or no, if you're in the city on a sheet added, would that be okay?
I mean, I'm okay with that, but a lot of things that we need to work on is not from a resident. Business owners come in here with concerns. Cato's shaking his head. And so at that point, you know, typically what happens, you all, and we've done a great job to, if somebody comes with a concern like the lady that came in last week with the mold and mildew, immediately on that night before I left, we sent out. So we have a way of finding them, but if we're going to be concerned for that matter, that we want to know how to get in contact with them. A lot of people that live out of the city have businesses or business with the city that we may need if that's the case. But I can assure you, we know how to follow up with everyone. But let's just let it play out legally. I don't want to commit to something and it's not, you see what I'm saying? Like, let's find out legally what we can do. And if we want to change it, find out if we need to change it via resolution. All right? So we've tabled item A. Mm-hmm. We approved item B and C. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. What do we do about D?
Table.
Table.
There's one person here. Y'all know her? Okay, so we'll table that. Item E, council to consider approval. So we had a long list, so.
That's why I want to table that one too.
Yeah, well, I want to add to that so she can look.
Okay.
There was a Rick Blaylock who had a sister that lived in the city. I know for a fact he did not want to state his name because of repercussions, but he also added that something be submitted to the minutes, and I don't see them. So he said on the record that my letter of resignation along with something else be submitted to the minutes. So can you go verify that and make sure those documents are included as part of the minutes? All right, I'll entertain a motion to table. And that's item number E for March 10th. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you, council. Council, we have a consent agenda.
Question, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Councilman
Where's
Powell.
the minutes for March the 6th?
The special call meeting?
Yes.
Oh. Do you have those
Those the ones.
that you gave me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't had a chance to prove them because she just gave them to me today. Did you make copies of them or you just gave me one?
It's about 8 copies, I think.
The bottom. Sorry about that, you all. Is that executive session?
Do you want me to get 7 copies?
Hmm?
Do you want me to get 7 copies?
Is that executive session? Okay. It is. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Council, there's a set of minutes before us. Are you sure it wasn't the 19th? Are you sure it wasn't the 19th? Go back and look and see. All right, council, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. We'll have my attorney look at it again, just to cross-reference, and if any changes need to be made, we can bring it before council in May. Great. Council, I'll entertain a motion to approve our special call meeting. No, we can't do that, because we didn't add it to the agenda. Did somebody add it to the agenda?
It wasn't now.
I am so sorry. Don, I was really relying on you. I'm so sorry. So it wasn't added on the agenda, so we'll roll it over.
And the same for January. There's a note up there, I don't know if you saw it, though. For
Yeah.
January 29th, public hearing, number 1.
What do you want me to do with it?
It needed approved.
But it's not on here?
No, but that
So
was
we've
one of
already
my-
appro-
that was one of my amendments.
Okay, well, you got to jump in. So we'll hold all of those amendments until next year so that we're clean. We don't want to get in the habit of amending midstream.
Okay.
All right. We'll table, is there a motion to table item E? Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposition? All right, thank you so much. We'll get these straight. Now we can move to consent agenda. If there, yes,
Oh, I was going to
no, you go ahead.
Council to consider approval of Brian Holmes as a board member to the Downtown Development Authority Board.
So it's consent agenda items, and we have 3 items on consent agenda. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the entire consent agenda.
Oh, okay.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem, second by,
Second.
y'all going too fast. Councilman Dixon. Councilman Don Dixon. Any discussion, council? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you so much.
Okay. Old business, council to consider approval of alcohol license application 25 ALC 002 for retail sales at 249 North Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. The legal business name is AHS Quick Mart. Akshat Shah has requested to be the licensed representative.
Ms. Cameron, council, do you, a recommendation of, is it staff's approval? Was there any conditions for this one?
Madam Mayor and council members, because this is a transfer of the business, the conditions would be the same. There has not been a lapse in the previous owner's license, so everything is the same. Yes, ma'am. The very same conditions would be a standalone building. The requirement, they meet the requirements for the distance of proximity to a school, to a church. They meet that. And then also the size of the building, they meet all the requirements.
At this time, council, I'll entertain a motion to approve the alcohol license number 25-ALC-002.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilman Don Dixon made the motion. Councilman Alfred Dixon seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Trying to help you, Madam
Thank you.
Clerk. Item B,
Okay, council to consider approval of an annual donation in the amount of $5,500 to Arts Clayton.
Council, we spoke about this last week. I referenced the fact that other cities are doing a wonderful job of supporting Arts Clayton, and I think that we should do our part as well. I've mentioned that we probably can get these funds from salary savings for the previous months. And then going forward, next year when we discuss budgets, we can talk about if we want to do this again and having a line item for it. I did reach out to Casey at Arts Clayton, and of course they already do so much for us. We've had budget things there and things of that nature, but she also said with the partnership, with the annual membership, that they will be inclined to provide a complimentary class or two to the community or collaborate on community building strategies. They will also create a package that will allow for specific tickets for council members to the events, up to a specified number of tickets, in addition to prominently featuring our logo with the additional community partners. And all of that is great, but I also just think that because they're in the city, we should champion them the way that our sister cities do in the district. And so it is my hopes that we can approve this $5,500 donation to Arts Clayton so they can continue the wonderful work that they do for our community.
thank you, Councilwoman Miller. I would be remiss, I want to be transparent. We did purchase 2 tables because we were not a member, we did not do the 5,500. So I made sure that we purchased 2 tables. We purchased 2 lovely pieces of art, and one other one. So I don't know if we want to talk about, because she knew I was doing that because we hadn't joined, but I wanted to make sure that we were supporting up to that amount. So council, we can entertain the 5,500. I would ask that you all give us at least 30 days so I can get somebody in here to make sure that the money is there. I'm sure it is.
Mayor,
Yes,
how much did we spend with them at the gala for the 2 tables and the art?
Andrew?
It was 1,200 per table.
And we bought a table and a half.
Table and a half.
Yeah, so we bought a full table, and DDA split that table. So the city came out with 1,200. The DDA, we initially split the table with DDA, but then more staff wanted to go, and so we did 4. I'm not sure how my brain got in, but
That included ticket price?
that was everything to get in.
So
And
we did quite a good donation even at that.
yeah, we did, and that's why I wanted to be transparent when y'all look at the budget and see we wrote some checks to Arts Clayton. We bought 2 pieces of art, all under $500, weren't they? Councilman Dixon?
Yeah. Drove it on up.
We bought 2 pieces of art. One of the things that the city, when we built the city, was to have public art in the building, so this was a great opportunity for us to support them and to buy public art. So if y'all go outside in the lobby, we purchased 2, and then one lady bought one and heard what we wanted to do as far as display them as public art, and she gave us the 3rd one. So we got 3 pieces of dog art. Yes.
And just to chime in, I spoke to Casey about that as well, and she mentioned that the funds for the table, and I don't know if this is a new practice, but that goes into a separate place as far as what she does with the funds for the community, and so that goes into a separate placement than where the annual donations will go. So we did do that, and that was wonderful, but that goes into a different pot as far as what she's able to do for the community. And again, they're willing to host things for our community if we so choose to partner with her.
And the only thing I wanted to clarify, the $5,500 didn't include a discounted table for the Mardi Gras, because typically the highest sponsor, it does require.
It gives you tickets to whatever specific events. I don't know if you can choose which event.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Typically in the past when we've had it, when you pay that level, you get 1 table. Andrew, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but let's figure that out, because if we've already paid our table, maybe she'll let us adjust the difference and we'll still get them to 500. Like, so basically if the table would have been $800 because we were a $5,500 level sponsor, then the difference is roughly $400. So we deduct that from $5,100. I'm just trying to. Yes.
I think that's a lot of money. I think we have to remember that the funds, because something did not get budgeted, JPD, we didn't hire some officers or anything like that. Funds are there, but we have to remember that those funds are from the residents. They're the ones that pay the taxes that put that in. So $5,500 is a lot.
Well, it might be a little less if Casey works with us and deducts the difference of what our tables would have cost if we were a member, and so that would bring it down.
To your point, Councilman Dixon, I completely understand what you're saying, but I think that those funds will be recycled into the community if they're doing things for their children or for the seniors or whatever we decide as a council or specific members of council to utilize the space that she's willing to partner with us for our community members. And we want Jonesboro to be a place where you can live, work, and play, and so we're offering something for the community to come out to, so that they're not just, home all the time or having to leave the city of Jonesboro in order to participate in events.
And let me also say this, I think this is important. Prior to becoming mayor, we did sponsor Arts Clayton. I can actually go back, if we table this and provide the years, that's how I got involved with Arts Clayton. So this is not the first time that we've sponsored Arts Clayton. We just had a gap. But we have a long-standing relationship with Arts Clayton. And if you all want me to go find out how many, because we've been sponsors before. So this isn't something new.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
And I'll too, and Don, I appreciate your perspective on that as well. And to Councilwoman Miller's perspective about the funds being recycled back in the community. I truly feel that they will. I have been able to speak with Ms. Casey, and I just wanted to just speak about Mr. Kareem Collins and his sister, which is some young artists that stay right here in Jonesboro, and they were out on the corner one afternoon selling artwork. And they weren't supposed to be selling the artwork, of course, because they don't have a business license or a permit or anything to sell. But he explained to me that this is all that he's focused on. This is all that he loves to do, and all he needed was a few supplies to continue doing the artwork. All he needed was supplies, and he can do maybe 3 paintings a week. I did reach out to Ms. Casey, and she said that she was ready to support. And so I just wanted to make that connection with how these donations do impact the kids in our community, right here in our own backyard. Like I said, him and his sister are scholars at Jonesboro Middle School, and they're passionate about art. And I just want to make sure we capture that while we can. Jonesboro Middle School, that's some really interesting years or great years for us. So just want to make sure that we're pushing them in the right direction, and Ms. Casey's willing to support in that along with Jonesboro PD.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion at this time. Is there anyone that wants to make Councilwoman Miller?
I make a motion to approve the annual donation with the difference, if Casey is able to provide us a difference of what we paid for the table, to perhaps maybe lower the annual donation.
And there's a motion on the floor. I'll entertain a second. Is there a second?
Mayor?
Mayor Pro Tem.
I'm sorry.
We're not in discussion.
yet, okay.
Is there a second?
Second that motion.
So there's a motion on the floor has been appropriately seconded. The motion is that we consider a sponsorship level of $5,500 less the difference from what we paid for our tickets for Mardi Gras. Council, is there any discussion?
Mayor?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
I was trying to keep up with what we spent. Did we spend 1,800? Would that be right? Because the tables were 12, and then we did a table and a half, so would that have been 1,800?
But we didn't pay for all the table. I think we only did 1,200 because DDA paid for half of 1,200 table. And then we had more staff that wanted to attend. So
Okay,
we
so we just paid 12.
1,200 plus the public art.
The public art's going to be displayed in the city
Mm-hmm.
center, right?
They're down there now.
Okay.
No, that one was like 4, one was free, and I'm sorry. Thank you. 275 for the first one. What was the second one? What was Alfred's? Councilman Dixon's. 450. So 275, 450 plus a free piece that we got to make sure isn't gratuitous.
The art is ours forever.
It's forever, and she's actually, Casey has been nice enough to say that once we decide where we're going to display it, she's going to make placards for us in regard to the children that actually did the pieces.
So it would just be with the difference in the table, $4,300.
Well, no, because sponsors still purchase art outside of their sponsorship. The only benefit that we missed by not being a sponsor as of January 1st was a discounted amount on our table.
Well, that would be the 55 minus 12 would be 43.
No, what I'm saying is there are sponsors that came and paid $5,500 and still bought art. We personally bought raffle tickets, so that is in addition to buying the public. The public art was a raffle, a bid, an auction. It was an auction, so I don't think the public art should be considered because that's in addition to.
I wasn't considering art.
Okay, so you're saying,
The 55 minus the 12 would be 4,300.
no, because we don't know what the discount is. I don't know what that level was. Now, if it said you get a free table, then we deduct it. I need to go back and see, and do you have that now?
No, she just said specific tickets for a specific event, so I didn't go backwards to Mardi Gras.
Correct. So what I can do, and Casey works with us, you all like you would not believe. So I will go back and ask her. It may be that we paid $1,200 for a table, but if you were a sponsor, you only had to pay $800. I'm not sure. And if they gave it to us free, then I would ask her just this year to deduct that so we can go ahead and get our sponsorship and then go there. So there's a motion on the floor to approve the $5,500 with a deduction made for whatever benefit we would have received for attending Mardi Gras. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, any opposed? All right, thank you so much. We'll work on making sure we get that taken care of. New business.
Okay, new business. A, council to discuss the city's vehicle, Chevrolet Tahoe.
I think that was Councilman Billy Powell's discussion.
This issue we talked about earlier, I think right around the first of the year, about our lease expiring or maturing, and we were gonna get rid of the Tahoe, but nothing's happened about it. I'd like to know where we stand and what it takes to us to go ahead and sell it.
We're paying, Chief, what are we paying, $27 or $35 a month for the Tahoe? So we paid out our lease, so we can give it back to them, but we can also keep it for $35 a month. That's what happens with Enterprise. That's the good thing about the programs. When your lease expires, there is, I forgot the name of the term, but Chief Cato does this with a lot of their police vehicles that expire. I don't want to quote it, but I know it's not over $50. 33 and 38 ring in my head, but that's the only thing that we're paying for. And I can tell you, Andrew Simpson uses the car. We use it as a city when we go to events together. So it is being utilized. But I don't feel like it's a good financial investment to turn something in that we're only paying $33 and it's paid for. And now if y'all want to turn it in, and get something smaller, but then we're gonna have a car note.
What can we buy it from Enterprise for?
We don't have to buy it.
I said, what can we buy it for? How much money?
They won't
Instead
buy
of
it back.
35,
They won't buy it back.
Surely they will. I've never had a lease you couldn't buy it.
No, because that term,
The term of the lease.
I don't know that the terms were spelled out that way for the city Tahoe, that one for City Hall side.
well, my question is, why would you take a vehicle from the city hall side and it's used by staff? Like the staff uses it? Yes, Mayor Pro Tem. And I also want to invite you all, if you want to know how we use it, any day, call me and I'll pick you up and we'll ride through the city in the City Tahoe. Our residents are familiar with the City Tahoe. We go do our drive-bys when we do, what's our pop-up thing? Andrew, Mr. Simpson? We do our posse pop-up in the City Tahoe. Everybody knows when we roll up with the City Tahoe, we getting out with something exciting. Chief Cato has actually proposed, well, I don't know who proposed it, but we're going to get some signage so that it's more aware that it's a community vehicle and it's going to be a similar branding, community-based branding. You want to speak to that, Chief Cato? I'm sorry. I didn't know which way this one was going.
So we actually got quotes from Autograph Signs in reference to promoting that vehicle as a community engagement vehicle. That way it'll bring awareness throughout the community when we show up to these community pop-ups and the posse pop-ups, that people know who we are and what we're doing there.
And doesn't it
it'll
have
also
HR?
have a section on there that says the police department is recruiting, so if you know anyone who's looking for a job, we are hiring.
There you go.
Right?
So it'll be a community-friendly vehicle. That's what we thought would be the best use for, since we don't have to pay a full note. Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I'm sorry. Now,
Thank you. So it seems like I recall our previous city manager saying we only owed like $3,000 on that car. Is there a way for us to get a copy of that contract?
yeah, I believe that was in January and February, so now we owed that much because we hadn't paid those notes. The lease hadn't expired. Cato, you can get that information. I'm almost positive this lease expired in, because the lease for this is $1,100, wasn't it? Does that ring a bell?
I believe so.
So that $300 was not what we owe, it was the remaining monthly
No, it
payments.
was
$3,000.
3,000, that's what I'm saying, so that's probably 3 monthly payments. But we've just checked, and so we're at the $38, but I'll have Chief Cato get that information for us in May, what
correct.
exactly we're paying.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to say from my memory, but I'm not sure. But we looked at this. Chief Cato is like watching these enterprise vehicles closely. Any other questions for Chief? All right. Is there any motion on this particular item? All right.
Wait till we find out about if we can buy it or not. Check with Enterprise and see if we can actually have a cash buyout.
So what you're saying is you want to own the vehicle.
I want to own it and sell it. We don't
we-
need it that
we
way.
own it now.
Currently,
I
we
mean-
do own it. The only thing we're paying for, to my recollection, is the maintenance plan. So all of
So
our
we have a
vehicles-
title in hand?
I'll double check.
I think the last payment, January, February, was March, so we will check on that. But, so here's the thing.
US Mail may be playing with us with the title.
It wouldn't be advantageous, because if they sold a car for $5,000 to us, let's just say hypothetically, it'll take us a year and a half of paying $33. The car might not have any life at that particular point. So let's allow Chief to delve in this and get back with us in May. We'll check to see if our lease is expired, if our lease is complete, if we've satisfied all of our financial requirements. We'll see where we are in regard to the title, and we'll see the exact amount of that monthly that we're doing. And that monthly includes maintenance and some other things. Isn't that like the tracking and stuff, maybe? I don't know. Or that little program that allows us to know when it had an oil change and when it had a...
Yes, part of our maintenance program.
Correct. All right.
How many miles are on that vehicle now?
I have to verify that for you.
So, okay, so
I got like 20 something.
big.
No, I know, but it's like in new condition.
It's very low mileage, yes.
Yeah, we could get a lot of money out of it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, you could.
we'll get a lot of
I know
money.
the market for those, they're high.
Yeah, but then we'll have to buy a car.
We don't need the car.
Okay, well, then our staff would just be
Why
charged.
do we need a city vehicle and go park it at your house?
Well, there you go again. I knew that was coming. Woo!
Yeah, well,
Because
it's true.
sometimes, and if you want agendas, I have to be downtown at a city-related event. You can check on Cato, because Cato usually knows if I don't have a driver. And so it's not advantageous for me to get the girls to school to come here and pick up a car. So if you see a car with me, it was at, and we're referring to this past weekend. This past weekend, if you want me to give you neighbors' numbers, I drove through the city. I'm not going to put any staff on, but staff will tell you, it is common practice from Friday evening to Monday morning for you all to get pictures of what I observe in the city. Y'all don't have to shake your heads, but that's because on the weekend, it's my opportunity, if I've had a busy week, to drive through the city. I pride myself on a mayor of saying that I cover every inch of this city at least once a week. Sometimes that has to be on the weekend, and so that may be why you see my car there, the truck there. I have 3 cars. I don't need the Chevrolet Tahoe. But if not, then y'all can start paying mileage, because I am going to continue to do the work of the city. And he already said it's low mileage, so I'm not taking it on vacation. I'm not doing any of that. But staff will tell you, it is not unheard of on a Saturday for you to get a picture of a yard sale to know if they got a ticket or a tree that's down or something. And that's just my way, and it's not unheard of for me to drive through and see citizens and pull over and talk to them. They recognize the vehicle, and that's the other thing that I found out. I'm not sure about other mayors, but they recognize that city vehicle, which is why Chief Cato and I decided, let's make it a community-facing vehicle. That, to me, I'm not going to be driving a community-facing vehicle to church, that says all of this. It's for the community, and that's how I've utilized it the last 2 years, and that's how Chief Cato and I agreed to utilize it moving forward, and we were actually, if all goes well, going to reveal it during our community pop-up. So that's why we need a car. But again, anytime, Councilman Powell, I will come pick you up, and we will ride around. It would be my pleasure. Just let me know. You said you don't work. So I do. So sometimes I do it on the weekend. But call me. I'll come pick you up, and I'll chauffeur you around.
I want to know what it takes to get the title in hand, and then we'll go from there about what to do with it.
We've already established that. I think Chief Cato is clear on what needs to happen. Thank you, Chief. Yeah.
And just, I don't know about the riding through the city, things like that, but I know here recently, I don't know if this helps or hinders the point, but we had a Clayton County Day at the Capitol, and we had to take a table and banners and things of that nature. And myself, I ended up getting a ride back, but several of our staff were able to utilize the vehicles to put the tables in and things like that, so that they didn't have to put that in their own vehicle or use mileage to get to the city, and they were able to carpool together in that vehicle. And the mayor wasn't present at that event. Actually, I was the only only elected official to represent the city of Jonesboro at that event. But it helped the staff not have to utilize their own car. I think I heard that one of the staff members was going to take the train, and it just would have probably been a little bit more cumbersome if they weren't able to carpool together. So that's just one instance where the mayor didn't have anything to do with it, but it helped everyone else out.
If not, we would have been paying mileage, which tax up. So council, there's no need for us to do a motion on this item. Chief Cato, if you would do an item agenda summary for this item with all of those detailed information. We appreciate that for the work session. All right.
Okay. Council to consider approval and adoption of Resolution 2025-005 regarding Georgia Cities Week, April 20th through the 26th, 2025.
Council, this resolution is before you. We'll take some time next week at one of our events, probably our spring fling, and actually present it publicly. I would ask that you all approve the resolution as written.
Mayor.
Yeah.
I did read the resolution. I really appreciate the fact that we are, acknowledging Georgia Cities Week, as it is a huge opportunity for our residents to connect. But in reading the resolution, I felt that we could be a little bit more intentional with the language in the resolution. So I did email. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was looking at it.
I did email a copy of just some updated language for the council to review, if anyone had any questions for it.
I haven't seen that. And it's April 20th. Mr. Simpson, was this language provided to us by Georgia Cities Week in their toolkit? So, no?
Yes.
So this is the language that was provided to us by the Georgia Municipal Association.
Yeah, I understand. I think that's exactly. it
So if we
just-
don't approve it, then it'll be approved retroactive in May.
Mayor,
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
as someone that's been in charge of Georgia City Week before, they usually send us a toolkit, correct, Mr. Simpson? That would include the resolution that they would suggest along with promotional information, along with when to release that information, and I'm sure that's where this resolution came.
I just say that. So council, can I entertain a motion to accept this resolution? It's really nice to have a resolution beforehand for a particular event, and then to be presented. There's some typos that I'm gonna work with, Chandra, just for some spacing.
So, Mayor, in addition to the resolution, and like I said, I've been comparing the two. I've been comparing what was provided to us by Georgia Municipal Association. And I wanted our resolution to actually speak to the activities that we are doing within our city during Georgia City's Week. Like it didn't, I understand that's a general resolution, but like I said, it just didn't speak to Jonesboro. It didn't speak to our ice cream social that we're having at the City Green on Monday. It didn't speak to the different events that that the City Center is having throughout the week that we could possibly coordinate and collaborate, like Hand, Heart, and Soul project, having something up here maybe on Tuesday. It doesn't speak about the seven cities clean initiative that we're having on Saturday, and it doesn't speak about the spring fling. So I did send an email that kind of just includes that language in there as well, that I would love to.
I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Yeah,
I will tell you this. This is a resolution saying that we recognize Georgia City Week. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. So if you look at these are all global. It's like saying we recognize such and such month as the month that we celebrate autism or children with disabilities. So all we're doing here is recognizing. To your point, if you would like a proclamation, that we can go ahead and do this and do a live feed on the 20th to kick it off, and then at the spring fling we can do a proclamation that includes all of those items if that is so appropriate. I'm just not even sure. But this right here is for the purposes of the city of Jonesboro recognizing Georgia Cities Week. But I definitely hear you, and I think we can capture
And
that.
that's why I want to make sure, like, whereas city government officials and employees share the responsibility to pass along their understanding of public services and their benefits. I understand that we're recognizing these things, but are we doing these things?
Yes, we are.
And that's why I just want to be able to highlight that in our resolution.
So I think we should highlight that in our proclamation, proclaiming
I
what
like
we've
that.
done.
I like that idea as well.
And keep the resolution as is, because we're not recognizing what we're doing. We're recognizing what cities all over the state of Georgia is doing and the purpose behind it.
I guess I just wanted to personalize it a little bit for Jonesboro.
No, and I think, to your point, I believe a proclamation can do that, but I think, like, whenever we do resolutions, very seldom do we ever have a personalization. So if we do a resolution, like, so for example, for the organization that was here, the only personalization we had is that on that date. But the other two didn't have it. So this is that's a proclamation. So if you all are okay, I would love to have this going into the week. I'm sure Andrew would. I mean, Mr. Simpson would. If we would approve this resolution, and then we'll work, Councilman Dixon, on a proclamation that does not require council approval, that includes those things. And we could do whereas on Monday we did this, whereas on Tuesday we did this, and we can include everything. And I think that'll be really exciting to provide at our spring fling with all of the councils that's saying, all council members, I hope y'all are coming to the spring fling, thanking our staff, thanking our citizens as a culmination, and then proclaiming everything that we've done for the week.
I like it.
Okay. So can I entertain a motion to approve the resolution 2025-005?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept it as is, Resolution 2025-005, Jonesboro City Week, April 20th through the 26th of this year.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, if you would take this, it just has an addition on there for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Council to discuss updates regarding Jonesboro Youth City Government. Budget update, IT support every third Monday for JYCG meetings.
Thank you. And hey, everybody, I just wanted to speak briefly about the progress we're making with the Jonesboro Youth City Government. But before I dive in, just wanted to follow up on the JYCG budget, if we have that available.
Did we have that?
It's in that book, your book.
The book, in the
Yes.
book? It's up under tab.
Well, not in the, I'm sorry. It was a last minute,
So it's to
print
the
off.
left.
It's in the book up there with you.
With me, you have copies up here?
Mm-hmm, one copy, yeah.
Help me. Okay. I only have one copy. Did you make multiple copies? Council, Alfred, do you want to review this and come back with us?
The budget?
Yeah, she has it, if you just need one copy. And
Okay,
then-
okay, and I can.
Council,
I can-
Shelby, Ms. Bentley,
Oh, no, wait, what you asking me? What you?
would you prefer to review it since you hadn't gotten it beforehand, rather than us taking time and reviewing it now?
Oh, yeah.
Reviewing it now?
No, that's fine. Whenever she can get it to me, that'd be great.
Okay, she's gonna go get it and bring you a copy, and then review it, and then let me know what questions you have, and we'll have those addressed
Okay.
For May.
Gotcha. And I'll go ahead and put these questions in regards to the budget are, I know in the year 2024, we received or raised more than, or $3,500 plus in grants and donations. And with the thanks of council, mayor and council, we started this year off with $8,800 within the budget for Jonesboro Youth City Government. So far this year, we've received $1,000 in grants. So I just wanted to get an update of exactly where we were with everything.
So again, we're providing this, y'all know we're working without a finance director, so I'm
No,
gonna provide
I
this
just
for you.
wanted-
Let me see what does not look right and what additional information you need, and we'll make sure you get it. Ms. Mungin will be able to get you everything you need.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank y'all for that. Also wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the JYCG as a whole. One of our scholars, he had to leave a little earlier, but Mayor Pro Tem Isaac Hathaway, senior at Jonesboro High School, and just wanted to share that he has committed himself to over 190 community service hours with the Jonesboro Youth City Government. You know, on top of being a student, a senior at that, holding down a job within Clayton County, being a two-time student athlete, I just wanted to share the level of commitment of the students that we have within the JYCG, and wanted to thank the council for just always supporting, always pouring back into Jonesboro PD Public Works, for always creating a space for them to just grow into their best selves. Wanted to share that with you all.
And
I
we'll
know
make
this-
sure, Councilman Dixon, that May, I think it'll be their last month, or June, that we'll recognize all of our seniors in JC
Yeah.
during the council meeting.
Mhm.
Get with us
And
before then.
I know that there were some concerns about, students not always, being on time. Students not always, being able to, show up when they're juggling so many things. But I wanted to make sure that we provide our youth with the same support that we would provide ourselves with. So that ask tonight is just making sure that we do have IT support when we do have council meetings within the city of Jonesboro City Center. And like I said, IT support, we just need training on how to successfully run our meetings. So that's what I'm asking for within the council. I know that, I have an updated calendar that I'll be shooting out to you all as well. So every youth city government meeting won't necessarily happen within the chambers. Like next Monday, we plan to be at the ice cream social during Georgia Cities Week.
Get us that information for those that you want IT, and we'll work with you, especially with the training. I just need to check with Tran to see if this is something that students and scholars can be trained on. And I know you mentioned, I'm the one that mentioned about them being on time. I was also mentioning about their sponsor not being on time, and when I'm coming into a meeting that starts at 6 o'clock, and it's not starting to 6:20, and children are up here.
No, and I
So
totally understand.
we all need to be
and to
on
speak,
time,
and
just to
speak
respect
that.
adults' time.
No,
Like if I come at 6,
I understand. And to speak to that, as the director, yes, we do have advisors who always support and always back up. But I'm the one that's putting together, an agenda packet. So going back to just having that support, what would it look like if we as council didn't have anyone to prepare our agenda packets? What would we look like if we didn't have anyone to make sure that we had Zoom set up if we couldn't make it to the meeting? What would it look like if Ms. Shelby wouldn't provide us waters and just some snacks up here for our long meetings? So I just think before we can ask them to be perfect, we have to give them the tools to grow into that. They're still learning. I'm still learning.
Okay, I'm talking about you
Yeah,
being on
no, I'm
council.
saying, we all still learning, you know, how to just balance, how to delegate, you know, and how to motivate, right? So I just want, you know, the whole council support.
Is there a
as we
much,
move
is there a
forward.
motion or anything that you need us to act on for that?
Well, no, and these are just some updates, and just wanted to.
So I
give-
think updates will be best served during your report of city council so that we stick to the agenda items. Right now, the agenda item was budget update and IT support for every third. You can share those in your city council
No, I
report.
got you, and this last one may require,
Okay, is it related to the budget or IT support every third Monday for
no, so
G?
this is actually related just to the topic of, the Jonesboro Youth City Government.
Okay, so we'll save that for the report of city council.
Okay.
Are there any, report of your individual report? Is there any motion or anything that you'd like to make on the budget updates? I think we have the budget for you to review. Alabelle, Ms. Mungin, if you had questions. IT support, we'll talk about that with Mr. Tran. Again, if you're not starting on time, that's money that we're wasting by having an IT person here. And I know repeatedly, we have not started on time because I've been here. But we're working on that. I agree. We're going to give them all the
Oh,
tools
yeah,
that they
yeah.
can, so
And
we're working on that.
That's why I want to definitely just make sure we're starting at, it's making sure that we
Okay,
provide them.
so if they need water and chips, and they'll be on time. All right, item D.
Council to discuss the Beautification Commission.
All right, you want to talk about the so right now, both our beautification committee is usually held by Public Works, and we have 2 Public Works officers that are not working right now. They're not terminated, but I don't think I can discuss why they're not working. Code enforcement, I'm sorry, code enforcement. So as soon as our gentlemen are back and in great health, we will start on that beautification. I do feel like we've done some aspects of the beautification commission, including our cleanup for the 7 cities. We also, Mr. Hurd, as well as Mr. Warren, were all present for our cleanup with the organization that we recognized. So we're doing we're doing the same events that we did before. We're just not doing our own. We're doing partnerships, and it has worked out great. Mr. Hurd, would you like to mention that, how well they work out when they bring us their whole volunteer list and community is able to come?
Yeah, it's a very successful event. It was a very successful event, and I look forward to working with them again.
Gotcha, and I appreciate that. And I guess I'm speaking on, and I appreciate the work. I've been out to the events, and it's been amazing work. Had a lot of fun, and got a lot of stuff done. And I guess I'm speaking to, you know, understand, you know, that we had to take a break for a while with the commission, but looking to see exactly how we can bring the community back into the fold. I know we can, you know, ask for volunteers, but just trying to see exactly what our direction is when it comes to the Beautification Commission. You know, when are we going to start hosting the meetings? When are we going to start, you know, recruiting those champions from our sectors of the community to participate? Yeah, we welcome anybody to come in and try to do good work within the city of Jonesboro, but there's champions right here in the city too that would love to be a part of it. So we want to create that space for them.
All right. Point well taken. Thank you so much. We'll move on to item number D. No,
Council-
item E.
Council to discuss Jonesboro's newsletter.
Yes, Mayor and Council, I know the newsletter has been something super sensitive within the city of Jonesboro, and we're ready to go ahead and push that back out to the citizens. But I just wanted to get some clarity when it comes to just confirming that we still have the $6,500 within. And
We'll verify, but we haven't touched it. We haven't moved anything
Okay.
out of it.
Okay.
So whatever the amount was is still there.
Okay, and the shared drive, the one shared drive, is the newsletter on the one shared drive? Are you familiar?
I'm not sure, but we can.
If we can, and it's like I know we can create like a template ourselves, but it's racking my brain trying to do it when if we already have something.
Based
in
on what
place.
other cities are putting out for their newsletter, we really, ours, and nothing wrong with the previous administration that did, they were great. But when you look at the ones that's coming from other cities, it's a stark difference in quality. So I thought that's what you and Mayor Pro Tem were working on, finding us some templates or some companies like that. So the right way to do a newsletter is through a printing house that it comes to our citizens from there, and we're not taking late. How much time it takes, Shelby, for y'all to? It's a lot. It takes a lot for them to self-address. Then we've also been having problems with Clayton County. The U.S. Postal Service stuff not getting. So we've had people come up with a newsletter, like we can put it in our museum, like call it an archive. So there's a right way to do that, and so if you all would just check with other cities, great thing for you all to do when you go to GMA. Let's do it right, and let's invest and do it right, and get it from a mail. It's a mail house. That's what it's called. Yeah, and get it from a mail house, which means that we don't sit here and spend a day, about 8 hours, with 3 employees labeling stuff, and we need to clean it up because I get 3 at my house. Yes.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the mail house just sends out what we give them though, right? So you said no, you said yes.
But
Well,
Do
they can do both. So the mail houses that I'm used to, we tell them, we send them, they create it, and they send it out.
So we have to send them the articles and the pictures and things like that?
And they format.
They format, so don't utilize the template that we had before to plug and play and then send it to them to mail out.
A lot of mail houses won't do that, but that's something that Councilman Miller, Councilman Dixon and Mayor Pro Tem can check in. There's a variety of mail houses, like when you're in campaigning, like, we don't never see it. We tell them what they want, what we want, and we push it out. So let's just see what our options are and get back with us. I would love to know what are the options with a mail house, but I can tell you in 2020, yes, Mr. Tran. Can you come up to the microphone? This is Mr. Tran, our IT person. All things IT, media, and printing.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So basically, I have some experience with the last few years with City of Morrow. What we done is we put a database of the tax property with all the city residents. We provide that database to the mailing house. So we provide them a PDF format, however we format it, and they run through the machine. And even the stamp, it costs less than we do it ourselves. So overall, I think it's better for time efficient for the staff, and it costs more efficient than we do it ourselves.
So if you don't mind, maybe having a conversation with Councilman Dixon and
Yeah, sure.
Mayor Pro Tem, and give them those options and then present those
Right.
before us and see what we can do so that it looks nice. I've seen Morrow. That was one of the newsletters I was talking about.
Right. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Are y'all
thank
okay with that?
Thank you
All
for
right.
that.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. All right, next.
Council to discuss support during city events such as Juneteenth, 4th of July, etc.
And, okay. And council, this is, Mayor, council, this is just in regards to our city events, support during our city events. Juneteenth is coming up. 4th of July weekend is coming up. So just trying to, one of the concerns that I received from the residents from about last year's Juneteenth event is that, I know I'm exaggerating with the number, but maybe 1 million females that needed to use the restroom, maybe only 50, gentlemen. So that created a little situation at the restroom. So I was like, well, what would you like to see better? More porta potties, right? So just simple things like that, just making sure we're covered. I think they waited in line for about 30 minutes and, missed most of the show. So just trying to see if we have that covered for Juneteenth, 4th of July, and also just to get an update on anything for the Juneteenth or 4th of July. Are we ready to roll that out yet, or are we still waiting?
No, we're still waiting.
Okay.
We have to get press pictures from our artists. We're working on that.
Okay.
But as always, if you all have feedback, you don't have to wait till council meeting. Like Andrew is always on it. We did a debrief last year, and I think that was one of our concerns. So one of the things that we're doing, we're actually gonna have a bathroom attendant. I've spoken with Marcus about going to so we're ahead of those things, so. But we're determining whether we want to a temp service or work with our current cleaning company, but we recognize that and just needing somebody in there to keep it clean because with that magnitude of people. And we've also gotten more porta toilets. Is that right? Correct, Andrew? So yeah, so I promise you we're ready. Last year took us by surprise. We won't be taken by surprise this year. As we culminate our planning for both of those events, we'll provide something for you all. It is my hope, though, and I want to do for public record, a personal invitation to each council member to attend the June 19th celebration as well as the July 3rd. It's just always great when we're there. We plan on doing some proclamations for both of them. So I think it would just be great if we would all come if your schedule allows. So that's a personal invitation on behalf of the Downtown Development Authority. All right, let's do the next one.
Council to discuss special event permit SE-25-9 regarding Clayton County Sheriff's Office road race event on April 26, 2025.
So Mayor and Council, this is a request that came from the Sheriff's Office for a fee waiver of the $50 for the special event permit. They wish to hold this road race April 26, 2024, between the hours of 7 and 12. The Sheriff's Office will be providing approximately 120 deputies to man all the stations, run the routes. They will be handling everything from traffic control to road blockages, barricades, cones, all of that. They're just asking for the fee waiver as they did last year.
All right, council, I entertain a motion to accept the special event permit waiver of $50. Number S. Okay. All right. So you got that? Councilman Bobby Lester made the motion. Councilman Don Dixon seconded.
Thank you, Council.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All righty. The next item, I am so excited about this. I hope, Council, you all read it. We can't officially make the notice until April 24th or 25th, but our city was selected for National League of Cities, and I know we had to really sell membership for National League of Cities, but we worked really hard. Ms. Cameron assisted, Mr. Andrew Simpson assisted, as well as our previous city manager, and as well as our previous finance director. And then I put it all together and I did some parts, but it was the best level of collaboration that you could ever ask for. So I want to personally applaud Ms. Cameron, who was just stepping into that role, as well as Mr. Simpson. So we were selected as one of 12 or 15 cities for the Southern Cities Economic Initiative. It's 20? It's 20, and then it'll go to 15. The first part is $15,000 for us to develop a plan. Our focus is on inclusive procurement policies, because ours is kind of updated, so they're going to move us through this. Then once we work through this, then we'll have an opportunity to present our proposal, and from that 20, 15 will be selected, and I'm confident that we will be one of those 15 because of the relationship that we made. And that's $60,000. I got to give a shout out to Ms. Bentley. I forgot she's on the grant writing committee too. I'm looking at you. So, council, there's a memorandum of understanding that needs to be signed by May 5th. We don't have our council meeting until May 5th. I definitely don't want to be last. So if you all would just entertain a motion to sign the memorandum of understanding has already been reviewed by our attorney as written. That's what was provided from us by Southern Cities Economic Initiative. I have packets for you all if you all didn't print, if y'all want to go home and just have some leisure reading. Give me 1 second. The other cities in Georgia that was selected was Atlanta, Georgia, Canton, Georgia.
Thank you.
I think that's it. So we might be the smallest Georgia city. So I'm really excited about that. And it's a $15,000 planning grant. Keep that tight to your chest, as my grandmother would say, because they don't want us to do it until they do the official. Our planning phase starts on April 24th. But again, I cannot thank all of our staff that really helped bring this to fruition. And there's more coming. More coming. Hold tight. Thank you. Council, I entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding as provided in the packet.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much, council. We'll keep you updated. You're definitely welcome to be involved. I'll send you out emails as they send us Zoom so you can kind of hear where we're going, because ultimately the resolutions and the policy changes will have to be approved by council. So I would like for you all to somehow be in this process. Thank you all so much. Last, we had some trees falling. So council, I'm gonna need y'all to approve some spending. Now I'm gonna tell you, let's put it on the record. I already paid for one of them because we couldn't legislate it later. And I don't think y'all wanted a special call meeting on a Saturday. So is that the $4,000 one?
Yes, ma'am.
With Billy's?
Tree came out on Fayetteville Road.
Yes. So council, when we get an amendment to our tree budget, these are just for your records. I think we had enough in there for the 4,000, but don't have enough for the remaining. Is that what it is?
That's correct, ma'am.
So we're gonna have to be fishing to find some. So anybody have any questions on the fallen tree from the roadway that you have here? So that was $4,000. We went ahead and paid that, or we're invoicing it to pay? Okay, cool. Then we have this other one that's on Gloria Drive. So there's a tree that needs to be removed, recommended by the architect as well as the construction people. So we have 3 quotes. Both of them are reputable companies. We'll check insurance. We got Billy's Affordable Tree at $5,000. We have Pro Tree at 6,800. And we got one at 8,500. It's the same tree. I don't know how it fluctuates, but I would recommend that we go ahead with Billy's Affordable Tree Service. If you all are okay, I entertain a motion to approve. Yes.
Make a motion that we approve Billy's Affordable Tree Service in the amount of $5,000 to work on our tree issues.
Perfect. Yeah, and for discussion, I want to put on the record that this will put our tree fund in the negative, but we will find it because we got to get the tree removed. But for the record, this is going to put us about a negative 2,500 or 2,400. Mr. Hurd, was there a cost for the tree removal from this weekend for the four-way? We got to pay for that.
Excuse me, Mayor?
Do we have to pay for the tree that fell in North Avenue and Fayetteville?
On McDonough Road and Moore, Public Works took care of those two trees.
The one that took out the light?
The one on Fayetteville Road is the one that we had to pay for the contractor to take care of. It was
Okay.
$4,000.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're good. So council, it's a picture in here. Wait a minute, which one are you talking about? The tree at Gloria? This one right here. Well, it's our property, so we can't get money from ourselves. What do you mean, like?
I mean, the guy that's cutting it down, if he's gonna haul it off and sell it to the lumber company.
Yeah, well.
And then he's getting money too. I don't care if it's $500.
So that's typically not how tree companies work, but you can try it, Mr. Hurd. I know when they come, it's all inclusive to remove the tree and what they want to do with the tree. But if y'all want to get into the habit of negotiating, like, 'cause they already done took the trees from the other one, the 4,000. I mean, if it was a oak, a mesquite, I could smoke with it. I mean, smoke chicken. All right, and so the problem with this that they're really concerned about is the root system. So you'll see that. So there's a motion to approve payment of a tree removal for the amount of $5,000 from Billy's Affordable Tree Service. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. And again, council, this will send us into a deficit, and we'll do some budget amendments so that we can make sure we take care of these trees. All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please come do economic development report, please?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and those remaining in the audience. So, does any of the council have anything, questions on the report that is in front of them?
All right, do you want to speak to anything?
Mayor?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem?
Just curious about your discussion concerning the farmers and artisans market.
Yes.
What we're doing with that this season.
It will be run by the Methodist Church. The feedback I got from the majority of the people at the market, our vendors, was the fact that they didn't like the fact that they were hidden. They wanted the market to be on Main Street. The logical solution to that was to find somebody on Main Street that would hold the farmers market. And I approached the Methodist Church. They have a great frontage. They're on an intersection. And as a trial for this year, we'll see how it runs. I'm always open to suggestions, but the majority of suggestions were they didn't like where they were, they wanted to move. The flip side of that, of course, they have to bring their own tents because in the summer it gets hot. But if they believe, and I concur with that, that if you're on Main Street, you're going to see a lot more traffic that's passing by, they'll be more noticeable, and the Methodist Church are great people to work with. That's why it's going there.
Are they? Do you know if they're going to have? How are we going to handle that as far as licensing goes? Since they're not on city property, they're going to be on private property.
They are. So anything involving certifications, I've informed the Methodist Church this is what they need to have. So, for example, if somebody is having baked goods, they would need a cottage license. In essence, yes, you're correct. It's on their property. I'm doing the promotion and helping with that, but the rest of it is all the Methodist Church.
So we will no longer be issuing permits
No.
for the farmer's market. The Methodist Church will handle.
Correct.
Will we be, you said you're handling the promotion, so we'll have some good Facebook posts and some good signage.
Yeah.
Up.
So they have a special person that's doing, they've identified as doing the flyers. As soon as those flyers are complete, they'll send them to me, and then I'll put them out there.
Any further questions, Councilwoman Asia Miller?
I'm always interested to know the 11 businesses that we brought in, and the more so, maybe not more so, but the 7 businesses that were terminated, just to see what the feedback was, if there's anything that, you know, we as a city can do to make this more of a pleasurable experience to allow them to stay in the city. Is that sent out to us anywhere that I can find it, or can I get an email?
To answer your question, people are very reluctant to say when they move. They move for a variety of reasons. It could be rent. The rent's going up. They find it cheaper somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They change their location because they want a smaller venue or they want a larger venue. The one that I circulated to council was the fact that our current zoning, we don't have, and the mayor has been pushing this every time we go to a economic development workshop, that you have retail at the bottom and residential at the top. If we'd had that in Jonesboro, she said she would have stayed here. And if we do have it, she said she would gladly come back here. We need to look at our zoning to make it more helpful for business owners. You're quite right about that. I'm discovering that more business owners would like to live above their business. It cuts their cost in half if they have a separate residence. If it's a combination of residence and retail, they're right there, and it's a lot cheaper for them. And any way that cuts costs without affecting personnel, I think it's a great idea for them, and that's what we discussed. I also talked about in the report what was happening this week for Georgia Cities Week on Monday, and Councilman Alfred Dixon has alluded to the ice cream social on the city green. The city green, according to the DDA, and I would concur with that, is not marketed enough. The majority of rentals we get, if not all, are from Nouveau. There is a perception out there that it's Nouveau's green, and we have to change that. We are working with a business on the 22nd, which is Earth Day. We are working with Swints Feed and Garden Supply. Again, it's important to work with businesses when it's Georgia Cities Week to see how we engage as a city. April 23rd is Admin Professionals Day. Thank all the great admin professionals we have here and all the hard work they do. On the 24th of April is our community pop-up with Jonesboro Police Department. Chief Cato will be revealing the new police branding, and that will be at Batiste Garden Circle. On April 25th, it's candlelight yoga here at Lee Street Park. As was also alluded to by Councilman Alfred Dixon, the Seven Cities Initiative Cleanup Day on Turner Road in conjunction with other cities, which is why it's called the Seven Cities. It's 10 a.m. to 12, and then we have our Spring Fling concert to close Georgia Cities Week at between 6 and 9 p.m. again at Lee Street. The second thing I want to discuss is the current state of the fact that Jonesboro does not have a library. I think everybody in the audience, everyone here have talked about it since they demolished the other library. So I've been in touch with the Clayton County Library Board. They'll be meeting with me and the mayor. And if anyone else would like to join the meeting, more than welcome. I've also been speaking to one of the library employees who said the library system would like to provide book mobile services at Lee Street Park. They'll let us know as soon as they work out the specifics about the operation of the new services. They currently look at maybe once a week or twice a week. I would encourage anyone in the city of Jonesboro to attend that book mobile. With the amount of people that attend that, it will show the demand that we need to have a library in the downtown. And the exploratory talks will be hopefully next week or the week after.
Thank you for that, Andrew. To my previous point, I'm sorry, and I'm going to get to these things. Can I get a list of the business licenses that were issued in February and the ones that were terminated? I don't necessarily need to know why. I know, like, one, I spoke to, like, Roxy's, and so I understand that they moved for rent and things like that, but I just want to know who came in and who left so that we can introduce ourselves, and or maybe if they're reluctant to speak, we might have already spoken to them or had a relationship with them. They might be more inclined to speak to me. Like, I know Roxy was fine with telling me why he was leaving.
So to your point, when it's a retail, it's easier to come and say, hello, my name's Andrew, I'm the Economic Development Director, and then I come up like 2 weeks later. The great example of that would be Ray's Place, because I was getting feedback from the public, and I was like, okay, this is what I've heard. Could you please improve in this way? Everything else you're doing is great. The problem issue is that we have a number of auto brokers. And when I go to their offices, they're not there. So I either put my card under the door or in the door step, and then they've got my contact information.
Yeah, and I think that you do a wonderful job. I would just like to know if I could have a list of the businesses that, the licenses that were issued in February, and then the ones that were terminated, just so I can just know what's going on. And then for the details on the meeting, I would like to attend the mobile meeting if I can get the details. And then as soon as they send you over the dates, and then maybe we can kind of, in order to get the public out, maybe we can create something where one of the council members will read a book, or we'll offer some snack or something to get the public to come out to whatever dates they say once or twice a week that they'll come. Maybe we can do that 1 or 2 times.
Well, I don't know if council is interested, but April 23rd is also World Book Day. So if you'd like to read a book, I can video it and put it on our social platform.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll do that.
Yeah. That's
Great.
No problem.
Same here too.
Awesome. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much, Mr. Simpson. As always, we appreciate it. Okay, you
Yeah, I
have a
got a
question?
This is just in regards to the dates that you shared for the events. Can you just share that with us as well?
Sorry, can you repeat that again, please?
The dates for the upcoming events.
So we're going to forward that. We're still cleaning up that, so but
Okay.
we'll be able to forward it in the morning. We just got to get some time things correct. But by tomorrow morning, you should be able to.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, thank you. I'm going to start this way. Report for council members. Councilman Billy Powell,
I don't have anything.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I just want to, I know we're going to executive session, I just want to wish everyone a wonderful week and celebrate Easter Sunday. It's a reason to celebrate. He's living, he's alive.
Councilman Don Dixon. Councilman Don Dixon.
Just like to thank everybody for coming. Drive safe going home.
Councilwoman Asia Miller.
Sentiments the same for our previous council members. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, thank you to our amazing staff. We might be small, but we are mighty, and I appreciate you all every day for coming in here and making a change. So thank you guys so much.
Councilman Bobby Lester.
Just want to thank all you and our employees, most
7
definitely for this weekend. So I guess I'm told what I gotta do here. But they had quite a weekend. Numerous trees, obviously. We had 2 major wrecks, one on, excuse me, on South Main and one on Terra Boulevard. Power outage throughout the area that had to be dealt with. But yeah, multiple power outages, because I know one on my street went out 3 times and all. But just to thank all of them for their work and their endurance of all they do. So, and congratulations, Chief Cato. Yeah.
Councilman Alfred Dixon.
Just thanks to everyone who continues to show up and show out for the city of Jonesboro. Staff, thank you all. Councilwoman Audrey Miller, thank you for representing us at Clayton County Day at the Capitol. That was a great opportunity for us to really display all the goodness that Jonesboro has to offer. So I'm glad that you all were able to represent well for us. Wanted to let you all know the applications for the 3rd installment of the Jonesboro Youth City Government opens this week. I did send everyone up here the application, which includes the application, the essay instructions, teacher recommendations, waivers for programming, and a tentative calendar. And I'm happy to say, to Andrew's point, in regards to activating the City Green, Sundown Cinema will be returning, and we're looking to host it this year at the City Green. Not on Saturdays, but on Mondays. So I'm excited to roll that out with Jonesboro PD, with Arts Clayton, with Jonesboro DDA. So just wanted to share that with you all. Wanted to give a big shout out and thank you to State Representative Eric Bell for opening the doors to the state capitol for us for the 404 Sine Die Day block party. You know, Sine Die is the huge day in the legislative session, the last day of the legislative session. And it was just a great opportunity for us to really kind of get out there amongst everyday people and introduce them to the government process. So just wanted to say thank you, Eric Bell, State Representative Eric Bell, for that. Thank you, Danny Nagel with Danny Nagel Law Firm, for pouring into our youth. As JYCG member, Director of Communications, Mackenzie Newlove shared earlier, Danny Nagel came through Skate Zone and took care of everyone that came in. And it was a huge gesture for spring break, as many parents were just trying to find some good outlets. And one of those was Skate Zone, and Danny Nagel really helped our boat across, in addition to the AKAs from Henry County. So I just wanted to share that, and definitely appreciate Mr. Deborah and Ms. Rich for continuously to work with this. This is their 2nd year, so we're looking forward to year number 3. And also our Jonesboro Youth City Government Mayor Pro Tem, the one that I acknowledged earlier, the one that completed 190 community service hours with us. He just turned 18 years old yesterday, and he's ready to go to college in just a few months. So just keep him in your prayers as he continues to strive for greatness. And again, thank you all for the time.
All right, mine will be really quick. Again, I want to acknowledge our acceptance into the Southern Cities Economic Initiative. Again, I can't tell y'all how huge that is funding. Also want to acknowledge Georgia Cities Week next week. Council, if you all can try to make as many events as you can, we really appreciate that. Staff will be able to come to some as well. I invited you all to a staff luncheon tomorrow. It's our quarterly staff luncheons. I think some of you all said you could and some of you all can't. It'd be really great if y'all can join us for that tomorrow. And as I step down before we go into executive session, I did want to give one of my acknowledgments. She came in a little late, but I definitely want to give her the acknowledgement and thank you all for waiting. So, Ashley Cook, if you would come up front for me, please. Y'all know we don't do this by ourselves, so whenever I recognize children, the parents are here. Y'all got to come up here too. You auntie, grandma, come on. I'm sure you put in some, the way this list of accomplishments look, I'm sure everybody had all hands on deck. So Ashley is a student athlete, and she is at Elite Scholars High School. She is a senior. What is outstanding by her, as I read everything she does, I want to start off by saying she has a 4.2 GPA.
Wow.
how you get beyond a 4.0, but apparently y'all can do it, and that's because they're like excelling above. She's also a member of the varsity cross country and tennis teams at Elite Scholars Academy. She's doing all of that while maintaining her 4.2. She's a committed tennis player, and she's ranked in the USTA Southern Top 500 and the Top 100 in Georgia. Ashley has earned recognition for her sportsmanship and her determination. She's committed to Livingston College. Wow, that's exciting, where she plans to contribute to being a standout tennis player and a strong school culture. With future aspirations in sports management and law, Ashley dreams of launching her own sports agency to empower and advocate for the next generation of athletes. When she's not competing or coaching, she's actively involved in community outreach through her church and through her family's tennis programs. Again, it is indeed an honor to recognize you today, Ashley Cook, for everything you do. It's indeed an honor to recognize her village that stands with us, because you don't get a 4.2 without somebody else standing with you. So congratulations. I'm so sorry, Mayor Pro Tem. Do you mind coming down and we can just move on out? I'm so sorry. One of y'all come over here and come back and see us in 4 years when you graduate. Summa cum laude. Or thank you, laude. Whatever you come back with, we'll be happy. Yes, oh my God, I gotta make sure I get a picture. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session as I walk back up. Second. Any discussion, council, to go in executive session? All in favor? We're now in executive session. Council, you all don't mind. I'll entertain a motion to go back into a regular session. All in favor? Any discussion? Thank you so much, council. We're now back in regular session. Council, is there any actions of consideration based on decisions made in executive session that we need to share publicly?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the updated changes to the Aware Consultants contract with the payment amount previously stated remaining the same.
Any discussion, council? There's a motion on the floor. It's been appropriately second. All in favor? Any opposition? All right. Thank you so much. Mayor Pro Tem, is there another motion, another item to consider?
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion for us to accept the contract presented by Plant Moran to follow through with our forensic audit, allowing them a $20,000 retainer fee to be issued this week.
Any discussion, council? All in favor? Any opposed? I entertain a motion to,
Motion to adjourn.
There you go, I couldn't hear anything. All in favor? Council, I'll see you all next week. Come on out to the ice cream social. I got y'all on stations. Billy Powell, you're on Butter Pecan.
Harry, what?
You